And so this is part 2 of Blue Girls Dream Journal. I'm in June of 2013. The next dream is Blondie. I woke up at around 3:30 a.m. with a dream of a blonde-haired, short-haired woman. Later, there were some guys, could be a hostel, sitting around. So when I lived in the Pacific Northwest, I had several dreams of a girl with very short hair, kind of like a pixie style. And I never met her in real life, but I would have dreams about her. Okay, so the next one is at the station. I was at the bus station and I had a really old ticket in my pocket. It was practically falling apart and did. One ticket detached. There was a layover. I wasn't sure of next transfer, but was supposed to leave at 7:30 p.m. I don't know where I was going to, but it was a longer trip, more than a day. I was talking to some guy. Okay, so I remember standing in line, and I had an old ticket, and I pulled it out of my pocket, and it was falling apart. That's how old it was. So I don't know why I would have like such an old ticket on me, but anyway. So I think it's symbolic, falling apart. Something was falling apart. So there was a layover, and it was longer than a day. So I don't know where I was going with this. The couple. I was sitting next to a girl, and I heard the words demoted. There was this woman that wanted to be pleased. She liked toes. A guy laid beside her, and I thought it was my mom in the dream. He put his arms around her, and she then removed his hands. There is a clothesline full of sheets, robes. I go and kiss my mom, who's lying down, half asleep, and tell her I love her more than anything in the world. I grab my keys. It's 6:56 p.m. I awake at 8:06 p.m. in real life. I'm going to work. This could be a guy kissing his wife, girlfriend, who seems sick. So during these dreams, I started having a dream of a woman who was sick. Like she's just kind of on the couch, or she's just not feeling well. So this dream did not come to pass, but if I would have stayed in the Pacific Northwest, I might have. So it says right here, I was sitting next to a girl, and it was for an apartment, and the woman told me the words demoted, because what happened was this woman wanted to be pleased sexually, and she had some kind of foot fetish, and because I remember her giving this woman, it was between two women, giving her a foot massage. Okay. And so then the dream switched, in which it was a guy. He was, an older guy, rocker looking guy. I mean, he didn't have like long hair or anything, but he had like brown jeans and semi long hair, and so he was lying down with his wife or his girlfriend, and she removed his hands. I guess they were sleeping, and it was kind of bothering her. And then he was leaving to go to work, and she was lying down on the couch, or no, in bed, because it's 6:56. He grabbed his keys, which were on the nightstand, and it's 6:56 p.m. But I think it might be a.m. because I know that he left early in the morning. So he gave his wife or his girlfriend, I think it's his actual wife, who was sick, and she was lying down, gave her a kiss on the cheek or forehead or something, goodbye. So I did tell my mom this once. I love her more than anything in the world. I did tell her that. My mom has passed on in 2002. The feds. I don't have $1,800. The feds. I was at this place, and I was in a hurry, and I went to this room where there were people, an older man, a middle-aged woman. I didn't know who to make the checkout to. NCNM. 5:30 p.m. Office closes. I hate him. So what was going on is there was, this is June 21st, 2013. So I was in a hurry, and when I've had dreams of when I'm in a hurry, there's like some kind of legal situation going on. So whatever. And I did end up in a place where there was an older man. It was like you had your own room and a bathroom, but you shared the kitchen. And a middle-aged woman was there too. And then there was another apartment. And she's not in this dream. I mean, she came actually later when I arrived. I didn't know who to make the check out to. And so what that has to do about, that has to do with the student loan. And so this guy was being an a-hole. He was just saying, hey, you owe $1,800. And so the office closes at 5:30, so they wanted to move me. And I didn't owe $1,800. I was like mad at him because I shouldn't have to pay that. But he was being an a-hole. And I cried. The check was made out wrong. I was sitting at a table with a relative, girl cousin. She invited her sisters to go out to eat, but she did not invite me. She wanted my number, diagram of bikes, Walter. Then I entered a front room and a guy was sitting on a chair and my mom was lying down half asleep. I went and gave her a hug and as I hugged her, I cried. And then, there that is. So what was going on is that there was a woman, a cousin, and she invited her sisters to go out to eat or do something or whatever, and I was not invited. So it could have been an apartment, it could have been a work opportunity, I do not know. And then, so this guy wanted all kinds of money from me. She wanted my number. And, but she didn't invite me. So, and then there was somebody, I remember that where I lived was a guy named Walter. I never met him, but I remember somebody mentioning that name. So as I enter the front room, the same guy who looks like he's a rocker was sitting down in a chair, and then my mom, so she was like a mother figure, was lying down the couch, half asleep, and I gave her a hug. I remember this in the dream. Like she was lying down, and then I cried. So, because they were trying to show me with this huge bill. And this other woman didn't invite me, for a job opportunity, whatever opportunity. Red balloon. This was an odd dream. All I saw in this dream was a red balloon floating in the air. It was neither ascending or ascending, but in midair. Okay, so this is June 24th, and I did end up like July 4th. I went somewhere for 4th of July, and oddly enough, there was a red balloon that somebody let out, and I mean, it did ascend and, slowly, but what is the likelihood of that, So that did come true. I'm at one, two birdies, okay? Well, I was filling out a form and my cousin was helping me. Then I asked a question from a woman there. I said that my cousin did that, 329. I was planning to leave from Tacoma and was going to tell a guy, I think it was a friend of mine. The woman mentioned something about not leaving on the 1st. I used both my fingers to say F you. So I was filling out a form. I don't know what the form was from. It could be something medical. And then I asked some question about the form. And so something that my cousin did for 329, so I don't know if my cousin was helping me. And then I was planning to leave from Tacoma. I don't know why. And I was going to tell a guy, a friend or whatever about it, which I don't know why I would tell him because he was in a different state. But anyway, so this woman or whatever was like, didn't want me to leave on the 1st. And I remember in the dream going, F you, in the dream. I remember doing that because to me, anybody who wants to keep me somewhere, I run like a bat out of hell, because to me that means that they want to harm me. And so I have some abuse issues with that. So, if somebody's going to try to keep me somewhere, I'm going to run like a bat out of hell. Okay, so that's it for this one, and then part 2 or 3 is going to be coming up after this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, hello. So anyway, so the next one is flying bottle caps. June 2016, bottle caps flying around, Pepsi or Coke, Vivid. I was at a house and two women were there, and I was there. I asked for half a glass of milk. They didn't want to give me any milk, so I got half glass and poured as substance. It wasn't even milk, and thought it was. I told them about a childhood friend and my youngest brother. They probably will concoct some plan to go together and go to a different state. This was a small house, and it seemed to be in a country setting. So. Yeah, I was there. I don't know. I think my brother was there, my youngest one. And we had those old-fashioned bottles that you, for Pepsi or Diet Coke, that you had to use a thing to flip off the cap. Because I remember, and then the house, it was a small house in the country in the middle of nowhere. And I asked for a half a glass of milk, and some woman didn't want to give it to me. So that means food support. So then I thought my youngest brother and a childhood friend were going to run off, concoct some plan and run off together. Extra income. There was a large retail store. Some girl was married. She took an unpaid 10-minute break, and I was supposed to take a 15-minute. Her friend was going to leave at 7:30 and then come back after the girl's 15-minute break. So the girl wanted to check out with her at 7:30 and not take a break. She was just there because she needed food to eat. I was standing in line. There was a guy there. He said he got 8 weeks paid for a hotel, and I told him I would probably afford only 2 weeks. You must get more money than me. My mom was around somewhere. I wanted to stop at or through Santa Fe. Okay. So there was some woman who was just working at a retail store, and she was just doing it because she needed money to eat. And she was going to she took an unpaid break, and she wasn't supposed to do that. And then, okay, so she wanted to, and I don't know, it says here she took a break, and then it says she didn't want to take a break. So anyway, so then I was standing in line. I think it was to get some kind of assistance, and there was a guy I was talking to, and he got a hotel paid for, 2 months, and so somebody helped him. And anyway, so I don't know why I wanted to stop or go through Santa Fe. I'm not for sure why. Big fish and acupuncture. Okay, there was a small shark in the water. In order to get to some dock, the only way was to be in the water for a day. And I didn't want to do it because not sure where shark was. It wasn't a shark, but a large fish. Then I was out of college, and the students were helping me. There were pins on something the students had to pluck out at beginning of hair around the forehead. There was a square that had pins on my face, and I had to pull off. It was some Asian students help me. Then I was walking around and wanted to grab a pop. Didn't something. Coke before left. Didn't grab a pop before left. Left a little early. Okay, so anyway, there was something going on, okay, with the water. I thought it was a shark, and it was a big fish. So whatever it was a threatening fish. And so I was afraid to go into the water because I thought the shark would get me. So it says some students were helping me. There were pins or something. It was acupuncture. I think around this time there was some festival going on, and I think that they were giving out complimentary acupunctures. I'm not sure, but I remember that it happened close to this, around this. Yeah, so that's kind of about it. Okay, beautiful city. Okay, I was sitting on a track or sky train, and there was a little treat, candy. And it was free. There was an older lady in front of me. We pulled up to the most beautiful scenery I had ever seen. Boats, bicycle, boat, barge, beautiful. I wish I had my camera. Then I was in an apartment, linoleum floors of there, and there was a hole door to my left, a hole in the door to my left, which was my neighbors. There was a circular hole in the wall. At times there would be black and white projections of images on the floor. I showed the older lady, my youngest brother was there in the kitchen, and I asked to get information from him, 5 minutes, because so I wasn't anointed. He said Nashville, Tennessee. Then there was a black guy who appeared in the kitchen. There was this like bay-like thing that could be used for groceries or other things. Bag, it must be. You had to pull it up. I really didn't need it, but bought it anyway. $17.33 or $21.33. Actually, it was $15.33 for clothing at Value Village on July 1st. Okay, so the dream was surreal. It was kind of cool because I remember that there was this lady. We were on an Amtrak. I don't know why I thought it was like a sky train too, like something, but because it didn't feel like an Amtrak, it felt like some kind of other train, and it was free, this opportunity. And I remember us, like, she was in front of me. I don't think I knew her, but she was older. She had gray hair, and it was some kind of treat. And we pulled up to this most beautiful city and the scenery, and there was like, it was really strange because they had these, it was like out of proportion, huge boats and a huge bicycle. Instead of a big, huge ship, it was a big, huge bicycle that pulled up. So there were both. And then I remember saying, I wish I had my camera. And then I was in an apartment alone in Florida. Okay. So there was a hole in one of the doors. And so, not in real life, but in the dream. So I was seeing black and white images on the floor. And then my youngest brother appeared in the kitchen. And I said, okay, well, where should I go to next? And he said, Nashville, Tennessee, which I have tried to get in there. And my name came up. Well, I wasn't chosen for an apartment. So anyway, so then afterwards, this black guy appeared in the kitchen. And so I don't know if he's the one who kind of took over my apartment after I left, because he wasn't there. I don't know who he was. So I think, and he was not, it was one of those places where I had my own, like it was the same place where I had my own bedroom and then my own bathroom, but then you had to share the kitchen. So he wasn't one of the neighbors. So I'm wondering if maybe he was there, moved in after I left or something. So I said something about, groceries. I said that it was going to be, in the dream I said it was going to be $17.33 or $21. And actually, after I went to a Value Village, it was $15.33. This is after I predicted the $17.33. Okay, so that's it for June, and thank you for watching.